What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of DeAndre Hopkins' best route running from the 2020 season so far. We're going to be talking about how you guys can attack zone coverage, how you guys can run a stop route and work a throw-by technique, and also we're going to be talking about how you guys can get separation on a fade inside the red zone and make these tough catches in traffic. Okay, and guys, we're having a 50% off holiday sale on my website. My entire store, my entire video store are all 50% off, okay? The sale ends tonight at midnight, December 23rd, so hopefully we can get you guys on that, get you some of the stuff that we offer on that site. Again, promo code HOLIDAY50, very first link in the description, guys. 50% off sale, last sale of the year. Hope we can get you guys on some of those products soon. Let's get started, okay? So now this first things first here, we're going to be talking about attacking the blind spot, okay? So that's what you want to do against zone coverage. You want to try to work to get to this blind spot, attack this front hip right here to force this DB to try to speed turn and make him think vertical. So Hopkins does a great job of doing that. Let's play this thing full speed. So he comes off here, attacking that blind spot, and he's able to break this thing off and accelerate out, right? So that's a great job. Honestly, just simple route, right? Running a little out route, but the thing is that we got to manipulate this DB into thinking that it's a fade. 100% of the time, and against zone, it's so important that we close the distance, right? I want to step on his toes, like metaphorically, step on his toes, and all that means is close the gap with this DB. So when I come off the line of scrimmage, you see how he's fast. He's got his head down, he's attacking this DB, he gets to that blind spot, trying to make him think that he's just going to run to this blind spot and go vertical, right? So that's why when you guys are selling this route, and you guys are selling to this blind spot, your speed is so important, right? Because again, we talk about this all the time. What are the things that sell fade, right? You got body language, you got speed, you got stride length, and your eyes. So that's what we got to take all to that DB's blind spot to try to force him to do that speed turn out of there and try to get him to open up that gate and run, right? Because his worst nightmare, you guys got to understand this, his worst nightmare in zone coverage is getting beat on a fade, right? Because that's what they're taught not to do, whether it's like cover 3, cover 4, whatever it is. He does not want to get beat over the top. He does not want to have to turn and just get dogged over the top because he doesn't have any help over there, right? Especially if it's like a cover 3 situation where he's supposed to keep everything in front of him. So if we can threaten him there and make him believe that with my speed, with my pad level, that's what's going to flip him out of there. So now, when he gets to this blind spot, you see this DB has no idea where we are, right? And if we could get to this spot and then be able to break it off on an out route, that's going to get us some separation. Now, now, when this DB is going to be coming out of here, what's he doing? He's speed turning, right? So they call it a speed turn for a reason. So when I get to this blind spot, I get him to turn those hips. Real important that I continue to drive my arms. I continue to accelerate out of the break to widen the distance with this DB. The whole goal is to widen the gap, right? Exactly. Widen the gap. He's trying to close the distance. He's trying to close that gap, and he's got his head down. He's pumping his arms because he's trying to recover. He knows he got beat. So let's make him pay for it. Let's make sure I continue to pump my arms and I continue to drive out of this thing, even when I'm able to get separation. Great catch by their DeAndre Hopkins. Having that toe tap catch again. This is one of the best ways to attack zone coverage, fellas. Attack that front hip, try to get to this blind spot, force that speed turn by that DB, and run this thing off. Let's watch it again full speed. So he's coming off here. Attack that hip, break this thing off, and make sure we accelerate out of the break. Great route. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at this kind of stop route right here. So I believe this DB kind of holds him a little bit and kind of grabs onto his waist here. So I think that this might be considered a hold, right? But obviously that's not what this is about. What this is about is just the technique, selling vertical, and being able to snap down on a dime. So he comes off here, gives him this little hesitation hop. Again, selling vertical, right? That's the key here, fellas. Because if we snap down like this and we draw a holding call, that's a great route by us, right? If we swat him by and then he shoots by, that's a great route by us, right? So we got to make sure that we do all these things correctly, all the little details to make sure that I'm going to be able to make this play, I'm going to be able to get some separation, or I'm going to force this guy to hold and force this guy to grab onto me, right? So now when I'm here, you see when he comes off the line, DB's what? DB's a little bit inside shade, right? A little bit inside shade. So what do I want to do? He's in this catch technique. I want to close the distance with him just as quick as I can, right? Because again, we're probably a first read on this, so I don't want to give him all this long, crazy move. I want to give him something quick. So DeAndre Hopkins gives him this little hesitation hop, kind of gets him to stop those feet, gets him to hesitate, get those DB's feet to be flat, and now let's burst that vertical. Now let's try to get him to turn those hips. Let's try to get him to believe fade, right? This is set up, again, by making everything look like a vertical, right? Because maybe one time I come off, maybe my job is just to run this guy off the play. I give him the same release. I give him the same burst off the line. I keep my head down, and I run 30 yards downfield. I get him to feel my speed. I get him to turn his hips and think, okay, he's going to try to burn me on a fade maybe a couple times this game, right? Just to get in that DB's head, it's all a mind game. So now when I come off here and I make it look the exact same, I give him that hesitation. I burst upfield. What does he do? He's got his head down right here, head down. He's got a good pad level. He's staying in stride. He's got the same speed. He's just running, right? Now, this DB's fully committed. He's fully committed to this fade. He knows he got beat on that fade. He's in oh shit mode. I'm pumping my arms. I'm thinking, I got to recover on this thing right now. Now, what we got to do as a receiver is we got to snap right on a dime. So, again, we're in stride. I got to be able to drop my hips. You see how he gives that like kind of hard plant, and as he plants, he works this throw by right here, right? Or not not a plant, like a drop. He works that hard, sudden drop with his hips, and he's throwing by at the exact same time with that right hand, right? And where's he attack? He's attacked in the back of that shoulder, or like his back right there, which is fine. Now, there are a couple points of control that you could do right here. You could go back of the shoulder, you go back of the hip, you go back of the elbow if he's got more of an extended arm. But again, we're trying to be physical, but the thing is we got to do this at the exact same time we snap it down. Reason being, if I'm running full speed downfield and I know I got this DB beat by a step or two maybe and he's right on my hip, if I start to put my hand on him before I start to snap down, that's an indicator. If I feel that as a DB and I feel like his hand's going to be on me, I'm going to slow myself down. I'm going to drop my hip. So it's got to be at the exact same time. You got to be able to snap, and it's almost like you're putting your hand on a wall, like you're trying to stop and push off of a wall. You see how he swats. We get a little bit of a holding call right here, but great job fighting through it by DeAndre Hopkins and watching this thing all the way into the catch, being late with his hands. That's a really good job fighting through that and then being able to burst and get upfield. That's a great route right here. Great job selling vertical. Great job getting that DB to turn his hips and run with him. And then at the exact same time we're snapping down, the exact same time we're using that trigger step, that's when I'm throwing him by. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. And again, not doing too much off the line of scrimmage, not giving all these fancy moves and then pushing up vertical. A little hesitation hop, get him to stop his feet, get him to stay inside shade. Our moves at the top of the route is what gets us separation, fellas. The energy we create at the top of the break is what gets us out of a break, what creates energy for us, and what leads to acceleration for us out of the break, right? So that's what we got to be able to do. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. So he hesitates, pushes up vertical, snaps this thing off. At the exact same time we snap, we got to throw by to either draw a holding call or to get this DB and get him off and get some separation, okay? So now we're going to be looking at this kind of builds off of that same stop route, right? So what does he do right here? He kind of gives him this little hesitation and then goes, right? And again, stops that DB's feet. Maybe he's a little bit more outside leverage this time. But if I'm going to be actually running a fade, right, and I want to take an outside release, you guys got to understand which hand do you have to beat to be able to get off of this press? His outside hand, right? Because even if he recovers with the left hand, we're still off a press. We're still off of this man coverage. He's not able to get hands. He's not able to disrupt the timing with my quarterback. So that's the goal of this whole thing. So now when I come off here and I give him this little hesitation move and then I push up vertical, you see how Hopkins has a plan with this right arm. He's working to swap by this DB's opposite arm so he doesn't have time to recover, and he's able to, or not really necessarily time to recover, but he's not able to get hands and jam and wall me to the sideline and force me to the sideline. He's able to just swat that hand off and be able to keep his head down and push back up vertical, right? And that's the entire goal of when we run a fade, right? Because we want to be able to get off a press, keep the timing with the quarterback, especially when it's in like a red zone situation, right? We got 20 going in, maybe 15 going in, whichever it is, and I got to run a fade. I got to make sure that he doesn't wall me to the sideline and make this a very tough throw for my quarterback. I'm able to get off quickly, and I'm able to keep timing with that quarterback, because again, you got to think of it as a quarterback perspective. The quarterback looks out. He sees that, okay, I got probably the best receiver in the league on a corner, right? And it's a mismatch, right? So if I got a fade, that's a great man coverage route because it's all about matchups, right? Man coverage is about matchups, how we can utilize those matchups. So I see a great matchup here. As a receiver, I know, okay, I got to get off this quick. I got to get a little bit of space as much as I can because he's going to give me a chance with this ball. And that's exactly what he does. We get separation. We give him a chance with this ball. It's a great shot. Great job being late and high pointing it, going up strong. That's what we got to focus on when we go up strong. We go up with, at the highest point, I go up strong. I have soft hands, but my eyes are watching this thing in. And then I want to pull this thing away from that DB. I want to pull it away from him, make sure that I have a strong grip, soft hands, pull away, go get that thing at its highest point. Great job being late with his hands as well. You see how he doesn't show those hands super early so that DB doesn't have time to make a play on him, right? That's a great job by Hopkins. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. So he's coming off here, giving a little hesitation. Have a plan with those hands, fellas. Know that if I got to take an outside release, I just got to beat that outside arm to get to the outside. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. Again, 50% off sale, my entire website, guys, my store and my video store, all the different products that we talk about, all 50% off today. Use the promo code HOLIDAY50 at checkout, get you 50% off, ends at midnight tonight. Very first link in the description. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'll see you guys next time.